We had 3 sets of metal bowls and 4 sets of glass bowls. We didn't have any plastic bowls because they tend to scratch and absorb oils, retain odors. We also didn't have any ceramic bowls because they can be heavy, they're fragile, and they can be expensive. And the price range was about $14 up to $60 for the set. We made vinaigrettes. We made batters for both pancakes and muffins, and we kneaded bread dough in the big bowls. And what we learned is that shape is really important to us. We prefer bowls like this that are sort of shallow and low as opposed to bowls that are taller and narrower, because the shallow ones are easier to work your spatula into, especially something like this. This is really tall and deep, and when you're scraping batter out of it, it's hard to reach in there. This illustrates another problem. We don't have a rim on this bowl, and we really preferred bowls that have rims. Up to a ½ inch rim is ideal because it makes it easier and more secure to hang on to, especially when you're holding it up and scraping batter out. So this is our 2 sets right here that were our favorites. You're going to have one of each. We like the stainless steel because it's light and indestructible. We like the glass because you can use it in a microwave, which you can't with the metal. The stainless steel set is by Vollrath. It's the Vollrath Economy set, and it was just a little over $14, $14.30 for the 3. And this is the Pyrex Smart Essentials glass set. This came with 4 bowls in the set, and it was a little under $32.
So you may not fall in love with mixing bowls in the kitchen, but design does matter. For the metal bowls, we suggest the Vollrath at $14, and then also if you like glass, the Pyrex at $32. But in our kitchen, we'd like to have both. You know, as Americans, we never take things from abroad and just let them be. We like to play with them, which is part of our genius, if I may say. But sometimes it doesn't really work out too well. So this is a tabbouleh, which is more bulgur than parsley. It's heavy, it's sodden. Originally, this was essentially a parsley salad, with a little bulgur on the top for texture. It was light, it was fresh, it was delicious. So we're going to go back to tabbouleh. We're probably going to play with it a little bit. It won't be totally authentic, but we're going to get our own right balance. But we're not going to forget that this was a parsley salad to start with, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Tabbouleh has 4 main components. It has the bulgur and the parsley, it has a simple olive oil-based dressing, and it has the tomatoes. And we're going to start with 3 tomatoes. We're going to chop them up and toss them with salt and let them drain so you get rid of that excess moisture so it doesn't get into the salad. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to stir it in there. And we're going to let these tomatoes drain for about 30 minutes, and you'll see a bunch of liquid come out that would otherwise go into the salad and make it soggy.
Okay.
So while these sit, we're going to turn our attention to the bulgur, and I have 3 examples of bulgur over here. Now, bulgur is pre-cooked wheat kernels or wheat berries that are then dried and ground, and the difference between these different varieties of bulgur is just the size of the grind. So here you have fine wheat bulgur. You can see the pieces are really quite small, and you can make tabbouleh with this, but the little pieces are quite small and they have a habit of getting dense and leaden. So
it gets clumpy too,
yeah,
right?
Not our favorite one. This is our favorite. This is medium. This happens to be the most commonly found in the supermarket, so this is our preferred. It also has a nice size and gets nice and fluffy. This, you can see, is very similar. This is coarse grind bulgur. It's a little bit bigger, and it's a good stand-in for medium, but we prefer medium just a little bit.
So Mama bulgur wins.
That's right.
Okay.
Always. So here we have 1/2 cup of medium grind bulgur, and we're going to give it a quick rinse. It helps get rid of little bits of detritus or flour that might be in there. Now we're going to put it in this bowl, and as I mentioned earlier, this is pre-cooked wheat berries or wheat kernels, so that you don't need to cook it again in order for them to get tender. You just need to rehydrate them with a little liquid. And we're going to add just enough liquid to let this hydrate really nice so it's nice and fluffy. And that's only a 1/4 cup of liquid for 1/2 cup of bulgur. And rather than use water, we're going to use something more flavorful. This is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're also going to use 2 tablespoons of some of this drained tomato juice.
Good idea.
Yeah, to really bring that tomato juice flavor forward.
The liquid doesn't have to be hot.
That's right.
Just room temperature.
That's right. All right, so we're going to let this sit at room temperature till the bulgur just begins to soften, and that takes about 1/2 hour. So this bulgur has been sitting for 1/2 hour, and you can see the texture of it has changed a lot. It's quite fluffy, but it's not yet tender. In fact, we found it takes a full 1.5 hours in order for the bulgur to get tender all the way through. But we're going to mix it with the rest of the salad before we let it rest in the other hour so that all the flavors can really melt. So we're going to start by making a simple olive oil-based vinaigrette, and this is 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And to that, we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's just 1/8 of a teaspoon cayenne. We're just going to whisk this together. Now we're going to add the bulgur, 1.5 cups of parsley. So it's still parsley salad, but there's a bit more bulgur than some real traditional recipes.
Because we like to fiddle with original recipes from other places.
We do. We're also going to add a little bit of mint, and this is half a cup freshly chopped mint. And we're going to add those drained tomatoes. I'm going to add these 2 scallions to the bowl. So now we're just going to stir everything together and let the bulgur finish rehydrating for another hour. And now I'm going to cover this and let it sit at room temperature.
Real Greek yogurt is thick and it's creamy and it's so good whether you use it in a recipe or eat it on its own. Now the Dash Greek yogurt maker promises to help you make your own Greek yogurt at home. Now I have to admit I thought this was really dumb, but after I tried it, I actually went out and bought one. It's very simple. You can use any kind of milk, whether you like skim or whole or even lactose-free soy or almond milk. Making the yogurt takes several hours, but it's mostly hands-off. I did it in the evening and I woke up to super fresh yogurt for breakfast. It's very easy. All the pieces store inside. Now you do need a thermometer. You heat milk in the microwave or in a pan to 185 degrees, cool it down to 110, and you whisk in a half cup of plain yogurt from the store. You want to buy one that has live and active cultures. It will say so on the container. After the first time, you can use your homemade batch as a starter. You just have to remember not to eat it all. You just pour the mixture in this one, put it in, then you're going to set the timer. It's usually 8 to 9 hours, and that's it. You come back, it shuts itself off, and you'll find there's 4 cups of fresh yogurt. It's fantastic. It'll have the consistency of regular yogurt. If you want to make your thicker Greek yogurt, you pour it into this fine mesh strainer. And the whey drains out and it condenses down in about an hour to about 2.5 cups of thick Greek yogurt. Look at this creamy, awesome stuff. It's great. You can top it with preserves or fresh fruit or granola, or you can use it for amazing dips and sauces. Now the Dash Greek yogurt maker, it's a little expensive at $45, but it's worth it if you enjoy making your own custom-made, absolutely fresh homemade yogurt as much as I did.
All right, Chris, so this has been sitting for an hour and it's ready to eat. I'm going to give it a quick taste and see if it needs any salt and pepper. It doesn't need any salt, but I think it could benefit from just a little pepper. Let me fill up your bowl. This tastes nothing like that junk from the supermarket.
2 things I noticed right away. It's very light with the lemon juice. It's got very nice, strong, fresh flavor. And the balance of bulgur, which I was a little worried about, I have to admit, with the parsley just about right. I like that combination. A little bit more parsley than bulgur.
Yep.
Excellent. So for our America's Test Kitchen version of tabbouleh, we started with the chopped tomatoes, salt, and let them drain to get the water out. Then we took the bulgur, rinsed it, and then let that sit with some lemon juice and reserved tomato liquid for about a half an hour to start to hydrate. Finally, we assembled the salad with more parsley than bulgur and let that sit with some lemon juice and olive oil for about an hour till everything is nicely absorbed and the flavors had melded. So there you have it. From America's Test Kitchen, your kitchen, a new version of tabbouleh, which we love. You can get this recipe and all the recipes from this season, our equipment ratings, taste tests, and watch select episodes of this show, all at our website, which is, of course, americastestkitchen.com. Excellent.